So we are back with the Euro Journeyman, and we have our last game in the European qualifiers. It's the Europa League playoff first and second leg. We'll be playing today against Trabzonspor, a team from the Turkish Super League. Why does this cat always get in the way just as I start? Get out of here, cat. Yeah, they are ranked 9th the league in Europe. Sorry, the cat is in the way again. Is she going to have a sit down? She's having a sit down, so we should be okay. Yeah, so since you last left us, we've only played the one league game. We do seem to be kind of in a bit of a rut, though. We've lost our last 3 games. We are down to 5th, which is not ideal, but if you look at the league table, we could still be within a title scrap. Obviously, we do have a decision to make come the end of the season, whether we stay or not. I think we'll decide that as we get to the end of the season. But we are at a case now where, regardless of what happens, we will have some form of Europe, because even if we lose this playoff, we'll get Conference League phase. We'll go down to the Conference League phase, or if we win it, obviously we are in the Europa League phase. So it is the last qualifier, which is why we're playing it today. We've been able to register everyone. We have signed one new player. Romeo Leandersson joins us. He is a Swedish 24-year-old midfielder, 450k from Mjällby. He's been pretty much a regular, 158 appearances in the Premier Division. He's just come in basically as a bit of a rotation player. 3 stars of current ability, so a leading player in the league, and he's Swedish, so it definitely helps. He's centre mid as well, position we needed. I think we may have actually sold someone since you were last with us as well, or maybe 1 or 2. We'll just double check that no one else has left. Yeah, I think maybe they didn't go through last time. So Philip Dew has left the club. Now we've brought that Slovenian centre-back in. We didn't really need him. So he's gone to the Portuguese Premier League for 100k. And then we've sold Hafidi as well. He just never really settled, never really showed much, and he got plenty of chances, but he's went to Denmark for 125k. Could still very much have a good career. He's only young, but he just wasn't going to get into our team, since we've obviously made some better signings. So this is the team we're going with for the game. Let's just jump to it. So we've got Harrison in goal, back 4 of Drakes Thomas, Hemd making his debut in front of you lot, Lucas Hemd, Tolf Dewar at left back, and then obviously we've only got one Dewar now, King Dewar, Osterberg and Gorman in midfield, and then a front 4 of Ibrahimov, David, Bujufi and Kubo, who I think is also making his debut after joining us in front of you lot. There's the bench. We've obviously still missing Cooper and Epia to injury. Leandersson obviously unregistered for this game, but we'll be able to register him for the league phase, whichever that is, whether it's Conference League or Europa League. In terms of which one we get into, I guess I'm not too fussed. It would be nice to get in the Europa League because there's a bit more money there, but realistically, it's probably not going to be too different. I think we'd maybe get further if we got into the Conference League. We might get out the league phase. I think that would be really cool if we could get out of the league phase, whichever one we're in. But I think if we are to get into any league phase, I think we'd be considered probably one of the favourites to drop out of it. But we've beaten some teams I wouldn't expect us to beat. Obviously, Rapid Vienna over 2 legs. I wasn't expecting to get past. Panathinaikos as well. I wasn't expecting to get past. So we've definitely overachieved so far. It's just about whether we can do it one more time. And like I said, the good news is we've overachieved so much. We've actually confirmed Europe of some kind. I don't know when the league phase would start. That is so poor. Tolf, what on earth is he doing? That is really poor. The ball was just an aimless ball over the top. It was going straight out, and Tolf's decided to just bring him down. It's 100% a penalty. VAR's reviewing it, but yeah, it was never in doubt. Very, very silly from Tolf. Really didn't need to do that. Harrison, can he be a hero? With Lidl in the background. There you go. How's that for your local advertising? Strauss, not so much. Harrison, it goes the wrong way. Poyraz. His name's Poyraz Yildirim. I don't know why it's showing his double name. It's all good to name them twice, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's showing up twice. 1-0 down, not ideal. I've actually got one player I'm familiar with, isn't he? Wasn't he at Watford at some point? Was it Watford? Maybe it wasn't Watford. Maybe it was Man City. It was someone. Chef Wed, maybe. I do recognise him, though. I recognise the name. Don't recognise the rest of them, unless that's the keeper who used to play for AC Milan. It's not. Funnily enough, the left back, it's not. Corner to Trabzonspor. This is starting to... Obviously, this is the away leg. And as I've mentioned in past episodes, we never like the away leg. The away leg in a European tie. Always a tricky fixture. If we can keep it to 1-0, I would fancy us in the home leg. We are we're pretty good at home. And obviously there's a few new players here who, will have to get up to speed. I'm not sure about Kubo. He's not really done too much, but would you want to just look at his star rating and stuff? I just feel like he must come good. But I haven't really seen enough yet to suggest he is going to be a quality player. We may put Mundell Smith back in, but here he is, Kubo. Over the top. Oh, scratch that. Scratch it. Take it back. Roll it back. Just rewind like 5 seconds. I never said it. Always fancied him. Miguel Kubo levels it up. It's a really good ball over the top from Ibrahimov. I was a bit worried about playing him on the right, whether he'd be as useful, because he's been really, really good on that left-hand side. But since David's come in, I've really wanted to keep him in his natural position on that left-hand side, which has forced Ibrahimov onto the right. But we just about get away with it there. That was brilliant from El Boujoufi. It was just sort of knocked around the box, few different efforts on target, but he's just managed to get in front of his man, who would have just had a tap in to make it 2-1. That's brilliant from El Boujoufi. But yeah, we've obviously got no Ronnie Moncaire now. He's left as well. So we've got a bit of money kicking about, but we did obviously spend 400 odd on that midfielder, which may seem like a bit of an overspend, but when the market for Swedish players is so limited, it's kind of like buying England players when you're in England. It's you pay a bit of a premium price to get players in, because you have to get these players for your registration rules. So it's a chance for, if you can get one who's actually good enough to be in your squad, it's worth paying it. But we'll tell the boys it's not been great. It honestly hasn't been a very good half. We've definitely been the worst team out of the two. We're kind of quite lucky, I think, to be at 1-1 at this point. We do have some tired legs, though, so David is going to go off early doors. What I'm going to do is bring Ibrahimov onto the left-hand side, bring Deli Thomas onto the right, because he is still someone I'm trying to find the best out of. I've not seen enough from Deli Thomas just yet. We still need to see more from him. But there he is, whipping one in. It's fell to Dewar, hemmed with an effort. Unfortunately, couldn't get it on target. I think it was a free kick's been given, probably for offside anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. But yeah, still trying to get the best out of Deli Thomas. I don't know if he's better on the left, on the right. I've got an inkling he's better on the left, but Ibrahimov's definitely better on the left. So we put him there. But he's actually, there's so many players that are tired. So we're going to bring Scanlon on. And I usually play him on the right. So let's try him on the right. Deli Thomas, okay, he definitely prefers to be on the left. Look at that. He goes from a 2-star all the way up to a 3.5. We'll bring Mundell Smith on as well. Actually, no, we won't. We'll leave him there. We don't really have another centre mid. So Dewar's going to come off for Berman, who's going to play left back. Again, not really the ideal position for him, but he can play there. He can play either side. And he's homegrown, so it's not a bad player to have in the squad. But Trabzonspor still trying to get themselves back in front for the second time today, because they really don't want to be just drawing this game. Ideally, they want to be winning this if they've got any serious chance of winning the tie. Poyraz makes it 2-1. I thought there was suspicions he might have been offside. Don't think VAR are even looking at it, or are they? VAR are checking it. Has it been given? The goal has actually been disallowed. He was offside. I thought there was I had an inkling he was just a bit off, and he was actually. So it was given as offside. It remains 1-1. Still, though, we really need to get probably some of these. We need to get either Tolf or one of these centre mids off, because they are pretty tired. Unfortunately, we don't really have anyone else we can bring on. We've only got one more stoppage, so if we're going to make our changes, we're going to have to make them. So I'm going to bring Boyerson on, and I am going to bring Mundell Smith on. I'm going to bring him on for El Boujoufi, who is our top scorer, but he's had a pretty poor day today, El Boujoufi, besides that clearance. So we're going to bring Mundell Smith on, who is naturally a winger, but he can definitely play up front. We played him up front a few times. Once Ronnie Moncaire was out the squad. They have scored. He looked really close to the goal line. I don't know how that's not offside, but it was a weird set piece. It just seemed to bobble around. It's found its way in the back of the net. It's not even been checked, so it must have been good. It's 2-1 to Trabzonspor. I mean, besides the goal, we've not really done anything, which is slightly worrying. But again, it's an away leg. If it stays like this, I'll still fancy us to get ourselves back into the tie. And I guess the pressure's off slightly, because we know one way or another we are going to be in Europe, so it's not the end of the world if we lose this. They're ranked way higher than us in terms of the league position, so they in theory they should be winning this. Yeah, their striker, I mean, look how much better he is. He shows up as just 5 stars. If we start looking through, I was going to say if we start looking through, we might see some more, but not a great game. But in the end, not the end of the world. I will be harsh because the players just seem to react to it telling off. They're kind of sadists. But yeah, not ideal, but there you go. So we'll come back for the second leg. We'll play this league game off camera in between. We'll come back for the second leg. It is at home, so you never know. We could overturn it. So for our second game, we obviously have the home leg, but we did actually lose again another match. It's 5 defeats in a row, which is probably the first time we've said this in quite some time, maybe ever in the series. We are weirdly just in a bad run in the league. We just can't seem to get a win. I don't know why we're conceding so many goals. I don't know if it's in the new players coming in, but I think it's maybe just these big European games. We're playing a lot of games. Players are tired, and we're maybe just struggling with the fixtures, the number of fixtures in this. I mean, this has been a lot of fixtures in August. It really has. It will settle down as we get further in. But we are at the business end of the league. And I just don't think we're going to win the league now. I think we're too far gone. So it's really just about getting in those European places again for us. But yeah, I think we're really going to struggle. But I think this will probably be our last season at the club anyway. I think what we might do is sign a contract to next season, just a 1-year deal. And then basically once our European run finishes, whether that's in the league phase or the knockouts, whenever that is, we then move on, because I think that probably makes the more sense. Though I would expect the league phase to kind of start before the end of our season anyway. But yeah, bit of a changed team because we've got a number suspended. So Drake's Thomas is suspended. Tolf has actually picked up a bad injury. He's going to be out for about 2 months, if not more. Leanderson's still unregistered. We have signed one player. He is obviously unregistered for this game. But Gabriel Eriksson joins us. He is a 22-year-old Swedish winger. He was previously of Hammarby, went to Inter Milan in the Serie A for £5 million, has barely played for them, but was doing quite well for Hammarby in the Premier Division before he left. Not really kicked a ball. We've loaned him in. We're paying 25 grand a week. We've only got until the end of the season, so it's only a short-term loan. There's a future fee, optional though, 10 million. We're obviously not taking that up. But yeah, he's still at Inter, so there's every chance we look at him for next season as well. But he looks pretty good, but unfortunately we can't involve him in today's game. But this is the team we're going with. Hitarison in goal, back four of Berman, Hemd, Epia finally back from his injury, makes his first start in a while, along with Dua, Osterberg, Gorman, and then the rest is all familiar to you. Ibrahimov, David, Bujufi, and Kubo. Again, we've probably got too many players who need a rest, so I just think we're not doing very well in these league games. Not really sure what's going on. It could be a mix of players are tired. We haven't won in a while as well, so morale's starting to dip slightly. And, we've just had these big games looming over us. But yeah, no pressure really. If we win over the aggregate score, which obviously we've got a goal to overcome, then that's great and we get into the Europa League phase. If not, we get into the Conference League phase and maybe we get some easier teams as well. But I don't know how the league phase works in Europe. I think this coefficiency comes into it. So you play basically I think there's 4 tiers and you play a certain number of teams from each pot. So we'd probably be in tier 4, which would be the worst one. So we play 2 teams from tier 1, 2 teams from tier 2, 2 from tier 3. And is it just 1 team from tier 4, or do you also play 2 there? I don't know exactly how it works, but you only play one team every. You only play every team once, and I think is it 8 games you play? It might be even different depending on the competition. I think the Champions League maybe play less, 8 games, and maybe Europa and Conference is 10 or something. I guess we'll figure it out once we get into it, because like I say, now that we've reached the Europa League playoff, we will get into at least one of them, which should also be a nice little financial boost as well coming into the club. But I think we may end up leaving the club without winning the league. I think, like I say, the plan is to basically get to the end of our European run with the club, which will probably involve staying on at least for part way of next season. And then at that point, I guess if we're still in a title race, we may just decide to stay out the season and try and get ourselves a league title. It's not out of the question we could win the league this season. We'll still definitely go for it, especially now once we get these European qualifiers out the way. But it's not looking likely. We've got quite a bit of ground to make up. So unless we go on a big run in terms of results back to back, pretty much we'd probably have to win, if not most of our games, nearly all of our remaining games, if we wanted to get into it. But a bit of a lifeline here. King Dua has scored an unlikely goal, his first goal for the club, I believe. It was a bit of a weird one. It didn't really seem like there was anything on, and he's just managed to get into it, which is great. So yeah, not. It's all to play for, really. It is all to play for. We have a couple of tired bodies, and we don't really have too many options. I'm going to bring Scanlon on in midfield, who hasn't played there a lot. I'm going to bring Deli Thomas on as well. As you can see, like I said, just these players are looking very tired, and I think that's maybe because we're trying to play a first team in both games. It is limiting us a little bit. Obviously, we've got new boys like Hempt, like Cubo, like Thomas. Drake's Thomas. Even these players, like the Dutch players who've come in the summer, they're still relatively new to the club. So it's going to take a little bit of settling, a little bit of chemistry building as well for everyone to start playing well. But 1-0 on the night, 2-2 on aggregate, corner for Trabzonspor, not taken. And again, I don't think there's a away rule in these qualifiers anymore. In Europe in general, I don't. Maybe it's still in the qualifiers. I'm not sure. So I guess it would be us who goes through at the minute because we scored an away goal and they didn't. But again, I don't think there's a away goal ruling. So if it does remain as it is currently, I think we would still go to extra time. I don't think we would go through on the away goal rule. Because like I said, I don't think that exists anymore. But we might not have to worry about that because Trabzonspor are getting themselves forward. I mean, we may as well just go for it. Like I said, we really got nothing to lose. Both teams, in essence, don't really have much to lose. They'd probably much rather want to be in the Europa League than the Conference League. Whereas for us, it'll be our first. I mean, this is our first European adventure at all. So even if we got knocked out in the qualifiers, it still would have been a good experience. It still would have been something new for the club. Boujoufi's definitely hit a bit of a cold patch. He's not playing to the best of his abilities. Mundell Smith is going to come on, which didn't do much last time, but maybe this time it can work. I'm going to make a bit of a weird substitution here just to get a tired player off. So Boyerson, who's naturally a winger, is going to come in at centre mid. Scanlon, who's really more of a winger / centre mid. I mean, looking at his defensive contributions, he's really not a right back, but he can kind of play there. Berman's going to go over to the left. We're just trying to get fit players onto the pitch at this point. It's not necessarily about getting everyone in their best position. I think at this point we just need to get some fit players on. The worry is that this goes to extra time, which I really don't want because we really don't have any fit players. Alternatively, I don't want to lose the game, so I'd rather not concede here, but I really don't want to go to extra time. Obviously, don't want to lose the game either, but we do have the league to still think about, and maybe we don't need to worry about extra time. What is it with their names? For some reason, Trabzonspor's name, or maybe it's in the Europa League, just any opponent we face, but it's definitely a bug because we're seeing both of their first names twice rather than the first and last name. So it is 1-1 on the night, 3-2 to Trabzonspor, so unless we have someone produce something late on here, it does mean it will be Conference League phase for us, not Europa League. Just a minute left. It's in our half. I think it's job done. It is job done for Trabzonspor. Not the most, convincing win for them, but considering they were, how far ahead they are as a nation in terms of their league, Turkey compared to Sweden, I'm honestly not too upset with that. A 3-2 loss. It was very tight. We get some money. I thought we'd have got more money than that, but there you go. Bank balance up to nearly $750,000, so not bad at all. But we will get ourselves in the Conference League. I'm sure of it. I'm pretty sure that's the way that it works. Is if we lose that playoff, we get Conference League. So it probably just hasn't gone through yet, but I'm sure it will. So we'll leave it there. I'm not sure where we'll come back if nothing comes. I don't know when the league phase happens. I would imagine it's probably October, September time. If that happens, then we'll come back and play our first game in the league phase. Otherwise, I think we'll just come back for the end of the actual season. So if there's any league phase games, you know what? Scratch it. We'll just come back where I feel's best. I don't know exactly where that'll be, but as I'm playing off camera, I'll kind of get an idea for it, and we'll come back there. So I'm not sure exactly where it'll be. But we definitely won't be doing any pointless league games. It'll be something in Europe or it'll be the end of the season. So, that's the plan. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the Euro Journeyman. And I'll see you all for more very soon.